Welcome to Tai Chi. Let's warm up. Hands at our waist, turn our neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight. Kick your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3. Shift your weight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up our span, parallel feet, choose one side, cross and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Practicing good Tai Chi posture to do our golden cockerel. What is good Tai Chi posture? Dropping your shoulders, middle finger to the side seam of your pants. As a result, your butt is tucked under, your chest is hollow, your chin is down, your glance is way ahead, your tongue is on your palate, and your head is erect, held up by the silver thread. Opening up our span because we're going to do some movement. We're going to do a golden cockerel standing on its left, shifting your weight up, counterbalance, and out, centered, down, center, and up, down, center, and up, down, center, and up. Out with our right foot, crossing and out in line, counterbalancing. Holding our ball on a T stance, rooted down on our right or back foot. Check the size of your ball. Out and to the side, bottom hand advances. Turn your hips and waist to part the wild horse's mane. Here it is. Sit back all the way. Pivot. Ball and T at the same time. Out on an L stance, bottom hand advances. Turn the hips and waist. Part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, pivot, ball and T, bottom hand and heel, turn the hips and waist, here it is. Sit back all the way to allow you to pivot, hold your ball on the T, out and to the side, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, ball and T, out and to the side, bottom hand advances for a bow stance. Sit back, pivot, ball and T, out and to the side, part the wild horse's mane. Listen carefully. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher. What are we going to do? Are we going to part the wild horse's mane? No, we're going to brush our knee. Out on an L, bring it to your ear, set down your hand, turn your hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher on a T, looking at the top or back hand, ear, heel, hand, face, turn your hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, face, turn the hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, all together to multitask to brush your knee. Don't get out of Tai Chi posture. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher on a T, ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, pivot, parallel and higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, face. Keep your Tai Chi posture. Bring back your back, but don't arch your back. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher. Make it perfect. Ear, heel, hand, face. Turn the hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, pivot, parallel and higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Look at your parameters. Is your knee not beyond your toe? If it is, bring it back. Is your back leg an arrow so it's straight and there's no buckle in the knee? Is your head erect and not favoring the front? Is your left hand towards the center of your body? And is your right hand holding the top of a ball, sitting to the side of your hip? This is good Tai Chi posture. Sit back, twist step, last set, parallel and higher, weighted on the right. We want to move the energy from our back leg, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee, so that the weight now is about evenly distributed, 50-50. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, listen carefully, hold your ball on a T. We're going to ward off, out and to the side. Push your opponent away. Finish up your rotation of your hips and waist to drag down the bird's tail. Pull it back and look back. Turning, then squaring, then put your contact at your wrist to energy out and across. Roll back, roll up, and push him out. Sit back, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance, out on an L stance to ward off. Finish up the rotation by grasping the bird's tail, not just using hands, but using our core and contact to push him out again. Rolling back, rolling up and forward. Sit back, twist step, ball on a T, out on an L stance, ward off and push him out. Finish the rotation and pull him down. And look back at him and turn and square and push him yet another time. Separating your hands and rolling back, pushing up and forward. Apparent closing. Sit back, twist and turn, open and open, in and in, off the ground to embrace the tiger with the right hand on the inside of the cross, pulling him up, turning at your wrists, pushing him out, separating shoulder width away, dropping your shoulders, everything comes down with it, including flexing of the knees as you close your form. A Yang 10 form in the right order, not a drill. Here we go, commencing form. Open, rotate, deep breath in as you elevate, shoulder level, release, exhale, flex your knees. Center, up higher, look at it, open, bringing it to your ear, turning your face to meet in the middle as you repulse the monkey. Center, up higher, open, ear, Turn your face, meet in the middle, repulsing of the monkey. T stance, we're going to brush your knee, higher and parallel. Ear, heel, hand, face, turn the hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Out on an L, bottom hand advances. Here it is. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T. Out on an L, bottom hand advances. Part the wild horse's mane. Flip that hand and meet it. Then sit back, twist, cup, open, flip, meet, close, cloud hands. 12 o'clock, stem and cup. 3 o'clock, flip, meet, open, middle or cup. 9 o'clock, only flip, meet, middle or cup at 12. 3 o'clock, flip, meet, close your stance. 12 o'clock, middle or cup. 9 o'clock, flip, meet, open your stance. Middle or cup. Only flip your hands at 3 o'clock and transition out into a golden taco on its left. And down and on its right. And kicking out. First on its right. And left. And holding our ball to grasp the bird's tail. L stance, O stance. Grasp the bird's tail. Look back. Turn, then square, then energy at your wrist to push out. Separate. Roll back. Roll up and forward. Sit back, twist and turn, holding a ball in a T, L stance, or off, and grasp the bird's tail. Look back, turn and square in contact, push, separate, roll back, roll up and forward. Sit back, twist and turn. Open and open. In and in. Off the ground, right hand tucked into the inside of the cross as you pull up your tiger. Rotate at your wrists. Push out. Shoulder width away. Drop your shoulders. Make yourselves small as you close your form. Okay, this time, only the names of the movements. Commencing form. Pulsing of the monkey. Rush knee. Part the wild horse's mane. Loud hands. look out. Grasp the bird's tail. Closing. Face the tiger. Closing form. Mountain form.
Great job. Okay. I never cease to be amazed by what Lucille does, teaching stand. I don't know what if you folks realize what was happening. She was letting you guys go slowly each time. First she'd tell you chapter and verse down to the last end, and then she said, well, we just talk about, I'll just tell you the movement. And lastly, she faces you and she does it, and she doesn't tell you where she's going, what she's doing. And this you can take as a way of assessing your progress in mastering the 10 forms. The first was obviously you get spoon-fed. The second, you're thinking about, well, all she's doing is telling me sequence, and I have to do what I have to do. And the lastly, she faces you, and some of you, not unusual, get confused. I can see it, like if you saw a school of fish, and most of them are swimming in this direction, and somebody decides they're going this way, everybody's going this way. But what I think that is that you're still, to some degree, dependent upon your teacher to tell you the direction. And it tells you maybe I have to work a little harder to integrate in myself what truly is the sequence in terms of what it is and which direction I go in what order. But that was very interesting to see, but I just wanted to point out that this is what I thought was happening. Each of you have progressed along the progression that you taught in your own way. Hopefully it gives you something to work toward, saying this is what I got to do in my individual case. And that's all I want to say.
So that was a very good summary, and I appreciate that. And yes, you have come a long, long ways, and you give me very positive vibes when I'm always with you. And I say that in all honesty for each of you. So we're going to take off on that, and we're going to challenge ourselves to learn how to do Tai Chi walk and put 2 movements to it. So just remember that in learning Tai Chi walk, you have already built the beginnings and the foundations in which to do it. It is not very different. So if you can but watch me, listen to me, and look at what I'm doing to show you that what you learned in the 10-form formation applies to the Tai Chi walk almost exactly, okay? So we learned, and this would be a good summary for what we have learned being our last session for the 10-week period. We learned that we are on a T, then we need to come out on an L, knowing that the weight is still on the back foot, but to get into an L stance, there needs to be a clear gap between the 2 feet. If it's not clear, we then would have trouble doing a bow stance because we do not have much room. We would be cramped in and would not allow our knees to turn, causing injury to our knees over a long period. So we learned that on a T, we would come out on an L. We would have that space and gap to allow us to go on a bow stance. And then we learned how to sit back. The better we can sit back, the more apt we are able to pivot freely to get back into a parallel or on a line with this planted left foot. And we learned that the other side is a challenge, but it remains the same, no different, but just a different side, okay? Now, in Tai Chi walk, we no longer do the T stance. However, everything else remains the same. We watch first, we pivot on our heel as if we're going to walk in this direction. If we're going to walk in this direction, both hips need to be in this walking position. If we do not walk in that direction, we will have trouble because one hip wants to go this way and the other one wants to go this way. That would create a fall, okay? Or unsteadiness, definitely. So in Tai Chi walk, which can be applied to everyday walking for safety, we pivot first on our heel as if we're going to walk in a zigzag position. Now, this is the twist step. This is the twist step. This is now what? The L stance. We are walking in this mid direction, going straight forward. Therefore, our hips have to be addressed to this L stance foot. Now we're going to take a zigzag again. We're going to sit back first because we know that if we were like this, our body weight is evenly distributed. If we start to move, we're going to fall because one foot has to be weightless. Therefore, we have to sit back and pivot now on a zigzag. Walk in this direction by addressing our hips, putting out our heel for an L stance to walk in this direction on a bow stance. There is a pattern. We are zigging, and an L, allowing us to insubstantiate this, and zagging, and an L, and a zigging, and a zagging. So this is the pattern. Zig, L, zag, L, zag, L, zig, zag, or whatever it is. So it's A, B, C, B, A, B, C, always in that routine. So in Tai Chi walk, although we're taking a zig and a zag, the thing that makes us go straight ahead is our L stance. Because the L stance is saying, get your foot on a line of the tile or be parallel to it so that the periphery, the side motions, will never alter our straightforward path. Okay? Although we take a detour, our L stance always forces us to get in a forward motion to the opposite side of the room. Okay? Any questions so far? Do I make myself clear? Okay? So we know that I'm going to turn this way and you're going to watch again. We know that we're going to take a pivot. We're going to walk in this direction. But we're going to shift our weight and we want to get to an L stance. And we need to move our hips to walk in the L stance direction. Now we need to make a zigzag again, so we're going to have to alleviate the weight for our forward foot to take this zag. Then we need to walk in this direction and put down our heel for an L stance to walk in this direction. And on it goes. We take a zigzag, we take an L, we take a bow, we take a sit back, we take a zigzag, we take an L, we take a bow, sit back, and so on and so forth. And now you're ready to try it because you get it, right? I think you do. So give yourself a break, try it, and I think you'll like it. Get good so that before you leave this class, we can part the wild horse's mane on a Tai Chi walk. And if you get real good, we can brush on you. So I'm going to ask you to take 2 steps back because we're going forward, okay? And we're going to start with hands at our waist, okay? And we're still taking note of our good Tai Chi posture by dropping our shoulders. Here we go. We're going to take a twist step by pivoting on our heel as if we're walking in that direction. Firming down our foot. Now we're taking an L stance, making sure that it's further out. Turning our hips and waist to get into a bow stance to walk in this direction. Sit back. We're taking a zigzag as if we're walking in that direction, putting out our heel on an L stance, parallel or on the line to a bow stance. Walking in that direction. Sitting back, pivoting in on a zigzag, walking in that direction, putting out our heel on an L stance, turning our hips and waist to walk in this direction. Sit back all the way. Pivot out to walk in this direction, putting out our heel on an L stance to then turn our hips and waist to walk in the next forward position. Sit back all the way, pivoting out, walking in the zigzag position, putting out our heel for an L stance, turning our hips and waist to a bow stance. Sit back all the way, pivoting out on a zigzag, walk in that direction, heel, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, shift your weight, L stance, turn the hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, walk in that direction, L stance, move the hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back. Walk in that direction. Twist. L. Walk in that direction. Bow stance. Sit back. Twist. Walk in that direction. L. Walk in that direction. Bow. Sit back. Twist step. Walk in that direction. L stance. Bow stance. Sit back. Twist step. Walk in that direction. L stance. Move the hips and waist. Bow stance. Sit back. Twist step. Walk in that direction. L stance. Bow stance. Hands at your waist. Sit back. Twist step. Walk in that direction. L stance. Bow stance. Sit back. Twist step. Walk in that direction. L stance. Bow stance. Sit back. Twist step. Walk in that direction. L stance. Bow stance. Sit back all the way. Okay, very good. Move back to your original position. And I want to clarify one thing, okay? On an L stance, your foot has to be on the line of the tile, one line straight ahead, or parallel. So if that is the rule, this is how it should be. That's on a line or parallel to the line. It's always the same. Okay, and Cecilia, that's wrong, yeah? Okay. So watch first, okay, because I want to clear it up, because I still see some inconsistencies. So it's no different in that the L stance, you drag it back, there's a gap. Okay? Now, this is incorrect. If you should come out and this foot comes this way, because this is not an L stance, this is going to tear your knees. So only on the zigzag, not the L stance, the forward, can you turn your toes. So this is the zigzag, this is the L. It has to be on a line or parallel to the line. It cannot go this way, it cannot go any other way. It has to go forward, because we want to get to the opposite side of the room. We turn our hips and waists, and we're in a forward position, parallel to the line, or on a line, or on a line, but I have to move it out, right? Now, that's the L stance. We want to now finish the L stance and go into another zigzag position. Then we want to get back into a L stance, so the foot has to be straight. It cannot flare out. The only time the toes can flare out are on the zig and the zag, but never in the middle. All right, maybe 4 steps and then we're moving on. Okay, so Tommy learned a way to survive, and he decided that he wanted to come out, put his foot there, then come out and call it a T stance. In doing so, it is not exactly right or not exactly wrong, but over time, the ultimate is we do not want to put a placeholder. So if you need to put that placeholder for balance, go ahead, but I'm not teaching you that, okay? So that is a way of surviving, which is good, because you taught your body, your system, something to be safe. But know that we are getting away from that placeholder because we want to build strength in our limbs as we balance. And for our style of Yang Tai Chi, we do not have that little placeholder before we move on to another step. However, it's not totally wrong. Any other questions? That was a good question. Okay, so now we're going to use basically the same format of our walking, but now we're going to add parting of the wild horse's mane. So let's kind of refresh our memory. We said that if the right hand is on the bottom and we're holding a ball, do it with me, we can part the wild horse's mane because the bottom hand advances. We never cross our hands. The next step would be the right hand would be on the top, and the bottom hand would be advancing as if it were giving our snag. So it's always the bottom hand that advances, and the bottom hand advances, and then it belongs on the top. Bottom hand advances, and then it belongs on the top. Bottom, top, bottom, top. Okay? So you're going to remember that, and then we're going to do a Tai Chi walk. Excuse me. So we're applying what we know on the 10-form formation to do a linear movement, to move more away from the circumscribed block area that we did in 10-form, giving us freedom, giving us motion, giving us spirit, more spirit, and lots of movement, and letting ourselves go to get more relaxed, get smoother and relaxed, and maybe grow into another form. All right, so I'm going to ask you just a few steps back, and we're going to advance. Hands at our waist, pivot out on a twist step, shift your weight, L stance, move the hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back all the way, zigzag out, walk in that direction, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, pivot out, left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top to hold your ball. L stance, bottom hand advances, part the wild horse's mane. Here it is. Sit back, pivot out, hold your ball. Bottom hand advances on an L stance, straight ahead, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, zigzag out, walk in that direction, hold your ball for better balance, put out your heel on an L stance, O stance. Sit back, pivot out, hold your ball for better balance, heel out on an L stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, zigzag, walk in that direction, hold your ball for better balance, out on your heel, L stance, O stance. Sit back, zigzag out, hold your ball for better balance, heel on an L stance, firm down on a bow stance. Sit back, twist out, hold your ball for better balance, put out your heel, part the wild horse's mane on a bow stance. Sit back, pivot out on a zigzag, hold your ball for better balance, L stance, continue bow stance. Sit back, pivot out, hold your ball for better balance, L stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, pivot out, hold your ball for better balance, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, pivot out on a zigzag, hold your ball for better balance, L stance, bow stance. Very good. Sit back, pivot out, hold your ball for better balance, L stance, bow stance, and sit back. Okay, we have enough time to challenge ourselves, Margaret, to challenge ourselves to do brush knee. So you need to come out here. The L stance is here. So here and then here. But you're coming in. All right. From what I could see, you have a grip on it. You know, it's coming along really nicely. And I'm very, very proud because you built your foundations well in Yang 10 form, and now we can push it up a notch and take off on it, okay? Now, this one's going to kind of boggle your mind, but it shouldn't. We're going to brush our knee, and we did that 1,000 times before in our warm-ups and our drill. So let's refresh our memory. How do you brush your knee? One hand is parallel. Doesn't matter if it's not the same hand that I'm using. And one hand is higher. We're going to bring it to our ear, turn our face, and brush our knee. It's hard because we're not moving our feet. But when we move our feet, we're going to come out on an L, turn our hips and waist, and a bow stance. We're going to sit back. We're going to zigzag like we're walking in that direction. Instead of a ball, we're going to go up and higher for better balance on an L and a bow. Okay? So let's try it, and I'll try to go slowly, but just remember when we go slowly, then it requires a little bit more balancing, okay? All right, just remember your zigzag and remember your L stance, all right? Starting out like this now. Pivot out. Now, left hand parallel, right hand higher. We're taking an L stance. Out on L, bring it to your ear, turn your hips and waist, and brush your knee. Very good. Sit back. What are we going to do? Zigzag, and we're going to be parallel and higher for better balance. Put it on an L, turn our hips and waist to brush our knee. Sit back, pivot out, walk in that direction, parallel and higher, L stance, bring it to your ear, turn your face, O stance. Sit back, zigzag out, parallel and higher, L stance, O stance. Sit back, pivot out, parallel and higher, heel on an L stance, bring it to your ear, multitask to brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, heel on an L, O stance. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Sit back, pivot out, parallel and higher, L stance, O stance. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, L stance, O stance. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher, ear, heel, hand, face, brush your knee. And everybody put your hands to your palms and give yourselves a really big clap. Very good. I hardly saw anybody out of their L stance. I drilled it down so that you couldn't even afford to do a wiggle of your L stance, which is amazing. I know that you'll be happy when you see the video once it's edited, that you did a really good job. It's not easy. You stayed really focused. You tried your best, and the outcome was a success. So very good.